There it is. Okay, welcome to a Thursday, middle of November. Depending where you are in the world, you're either enjoying some slightly colder weather or warmer weather if you're in the southern hemisphere. I know I was talking to some traders in the room here from Australia yesterday who they're just heading into summer essentially. So miss Australia. I lived there for a couple of years. But it is. Either way, the trading is good. Earnings season is sort of winding down, but we still have the market has some tricks up its sleeve for us. We'll start as we always do. Yeah, exactly. And the trading is pretty good in November. I actually like this time of year for trading, so we've got some great opportunities. Let's go through some of what we did yesterday very quickly, and then we'll get to today because we've got a few things on the list, which usually grows through the morning. All right. Just checking, make sure everything looks good here. All right, sounds good. So yesterday, there's quite a number of things that we traded. I'll start with some of what Andrew, who leads the room here, what he traded, because he had some fantastic trades off of DDOG, DDOG, Datadog. It had a great move on the open. We definitely, based on news, were long biased on this, and as you can see, it shot up right after the open. Andrew had some great trades and took advantage of this pull on the way up. He was in before the $40 mark, was looking for it to break through that $40, and sure enough, it did, and had he had some great opportunities on that. What else? Luck and Coffee was an interesting one. A lot of us were watching Luck and Coffee, but guys, look at this. This was a tough trade. Now, I know that some of our
moderate... Say it was anything but interesting.
Yeah.
I was in the trade, so therefore I would call it anything but interesting, falling asleep waiting for it to break out.
Yeah, poor Norm was stuck in there for hours because I know that Thor in the room, he managed to get in somewhere way down here on these spikes, added on this one, so good trade management for him. But unless you got something that was that good, even so, it's still... You know, the expectation was it was going to go up. You're sort of looking for 2190, I think, Norm, if I recall, was what you were looking for.
Yep.
And
the gap fill on the daily with the 2092.
Yeah. And, I mean, basically, you were waiting all day. It never did it. So
yep.
That was...
They got within, I set a limit order 2 cents below the gap fill at 2090. And that hit 2086. Got within like 4 cents of my limit order and then pulled back and never made it again. So I bailed on it.
Right. Yeah, that's was not as pretty as you'd like it to be. What else was out there? VIPS. I was not that excited about VIPS, but Andrew managed to trade this very well. You can see it was up and it was in this range, but it pulled down pre-market, but there was a good pop in it. You could either have played the pop or the pull down from that. I know that I saw members who played it both ways, so there was a good opportunity in VIPS. And in the morning, I played, my really only trade in the morning was on Canada Goose. Canada Goose was falling pre-market. It did what we like to call a rising devil type play, where it sort of came up then right into the open. You can see here, I managed to get a short right in about here, and I just held on for the ride, and I took it all the way down. I felt fantastic when I got out somewhere around here with my final shares. Little did I know it was going to drop another $2 from there to hit the low of the day. I really didn't think it had much more in it, but as you can see, it wasn't that bad of an exit because this was sort of a consolidation level. It came back to that level for the close, but still, great trade opportunity in Goose. A couple others that later in the day then, so, you know, we talk often about the morning because at the open there's a lot of great trading, but you can get great trades later in the day. Disney, around noon, announced that they had signed up 10 million subscribers in their first day. If you remember yesterday, we were watching Disney because they were having issues with their new streaming service and the signups, but they did a great job of PR management and media management and said, well, it's only going down because we have such a huge demand. And then when they were able to confirm the demand with numbers, look what happened. Look at this rise. Not only did some of our members call it out even before Squawk, which is the huge advantage of being in a community where people are watching these things, but there was entry points all along the way, these little red candles. This pullback here was another entry opportunity. Andrew actually came back into the room and got into this stock right about here and took it for this last little run. So there was lots of opportunities to play Disney. I missed it though. I was a little nervous about chasing this thing and didn't get in. So I played a counterplay on Netflix. Netflix, you notice, would sort of be is at risk a little bit if Disney's service takes off. So it came down, popped back up to VWAP, and this is a play that I absolutely love. So it's one of sort of the ones that I look for when it can't break through VWAP. It came back to this point, and if I flip quickly to a 1-minute chart, I can show you right here that it put in a pattern that I watch for. So it couldn't break through VWAP. Then it had a moving average cross. The red line is my 50 moving average, and it crossed over the 9 and 20. I took it short about this point, and I was able to take this ride down. So really, I had only 2 trades yesterday on Goose and Netflix, but both worked out very well for me. So it turned out to be a great day. So, all right, so that was yesterday. Now let's take a look at today and what we're going to do here. So, start at the top of our list with QGen. Just move my chart.
Let's hit the market news real quick, Peter. We are slightly lower. SPY is just 0.1%. It looks like it's coming back just a little bit right here. We've been up against all-time highs the last few days. World markets predominantly mixed. Europe is just slightly red overall. Asia closed down. Asia closed fairly mixed yesterday. This morning we had jobless claims come out, 225 new jobless, 225,000 new jobless claims versus 215 expected. And then we have a number of economic things coming out. We had the PPI come out this morning. I don't have the number yet. It happened right as I was coming on the show, and I've been setting up, so I apologize. And then we've got a number of Fed speakers at different events throughout the day, including Jerome Powell at 10 a.m. Eastern. So,
actually, thank you for that, Norm. And I forgot I meant to do that.
Yep.
I got all excited about reviewing
No
stocks.
problem.
You're right. When I look here at the indices, they're all red, which is down slightly. But if you look at the percentages, not big, and that's reflected when we look at the SPY, which I had up here on my list. It's just down marginally, right? We're down 34 cents or 0.1%, so not much. Okay, let's take a look then. QGen, and I had a chance to take a look at some news here, so but Norm, I'll let you sort of lead that and let me know if you haven't had a chance to take a look at them. But QGen is up 3%. It was up more, I thought, a little earlier, but the pre-market, see, it's been sliding since I started looking at it. But now that I'm looking at it on a 1-minute chart, it does not look good in the pre-market activity.
They got two things here. They got a couple of upgrades, and then there's another company is looking to purchase them. So that is what's popped them. QGen is a foreign company based out of the Netherlands. It's not quite as bad trading as some of the foreign stuff on a daily, but it's not great. ATR is relatively small. Excuse me, it's $1. It's actually, ATR is pretty decent, but a lot of that, it's foreign exchange and everything else that plays a role in it. So like you said, pre-market's kind of ugly. So we'll see what happens with it as we get closer to the open.
Yeah, I thought it would be nicer because it is a rumor of a buyout. And guys, as you may know, for those of you that follow us in the room, that on buyouts, if it's a cash confirmed buyout, we usually will not trade it. But buyout rumors are actually good to trade because that can just push the stock. There's no price. I didn't see any suggestion of a price. They were just saying, talks have started. So, all right, moving on. CLVS. This has been on our list for like 4 days straight now. I didn't find any news on it this morning. Is anything new that you found, Norm?
No, we're in the same boat that it's the same stuff. It's been trading off the last few days, I guess.
Yeah. So pre-market isn't looking that exciting. While it's been on my list, I actually have not traded it. I never found really a good trade in it. If you look back at sort of the daily activity, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't move, but I just didn't find clear signal entries that I could play. And you have to keep in mind, like, well, yesterday, this chart, look, it had some movement in it. The total move here was less than $1, so, or just over $1, I guess. So, it's not. You just keep in mind, it's not like it's going to move a couple of bucks. It's likely to, your moves are going to be 20, 30 cents. All right, so let's take a look at the next one. Cisco. Now, I know they had earnings last night. People are eagerly anticipating Cisco's earnings. And, Norm, there seems to be a fair amount of news, sort of conflicting news out there on it.
Yeah, I kind of don't know where to go with this one in a blurb. I think it was primarily they said their quarter was worse than expected. Things had slowed down. Their guidance wasn't great, so one of those where it's hard to develop any kind of an idea of what's going to happen. And frankly, I mean, despite being down 5.8%, the pre-market chart in the last hour, kind of the choppiness just kind of demonstrates that itself. So.
Yeah. My experience with Cisco has not been good. I've tried to trade it, and I found that it doesn't move a lot. So, I mean, look at the daily chart, right? All these little candles that just sort of popping up and down. I'm surprised the ATR is 72 cents because my experience has been that it really doesn't move much, and when it does, it's choppy. So I may just keep it on my list because maybe today it'll make up its mind. But the news is conflicted, right? They actually beat their earnings, but the guidance is not as high as expected. So here we see ourselves, right? We'll see what happens. Canopy Growth, our favorite pot stock. Let me try typing that again. Canopy Growth.
Guys, I'm gonna hop in here real quick. We're getting a few people saying on YouTube that the room crashed. Obviously, we're still here. If you have any issues or the room goes down for you, go shoot over to the YouTube live feed on the BBT channel. We'll work on getting it fixed.
Yeah, the room's still working for me. I'm just making sure here. Yeah, it's still all active. Maybe people that are in our chat room, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I mean, if we're still here, some people say it actually crashed on them. So I don't know if they got kicked out and couldn't get back in, or if they just couldn't get back in.
Right, I don't know. Well, the room is unanimously reporting, or at least everyone's saying yes, they can hear me. But of course, if they couldn't, they wouldn't be able to answer. So there you go. But enough people, it's working. I think they just need to restart. All right. Let's get back to our list. I was talking about Canopy Growth, so our one of my favorite pot stocks. It was great until they actually they actually started to sell product. So when the anticipation was there, CGC was a great trading stock. Ever since, look what's happened, right? It's really just been on the slow decline. I was noticing the other day it dropped below 20, and look at it now. It's down at $17. So they did have some financial announcements, some earnings today. Norm?
Sorry, I've been dealing with this issue. CGC, yeah. So CGC, I think if I remember off the top of my head, the revenues were higher, but their earnings were pretty disappointing. They're kind of in the same downward spiral that all these have been in. I'm seeing some reports that say their revenue was not meeting expectations, and I saw one earlier that said it beat expectations. So I've got to dig into it a little bit more.
Yeah, I
know that they took a wider loss than anticipated.
Right. So they did miss their estimates, and revenue was actually up. I think the key thing I was reading was that the revenue is not up as much as expected, and their forward-looking forecast doesn't show growth as fast as the market was looking for. So it's one of those interesting scenarios where it's not like they're not growing, but they're not growing fast enough for the market to justify the valuation, and this is why the stock price is getting pushed down. That being said, it could be a good trade today, so I will keep it on my list, and we will keep an eye on it. WB is the next one I've got here. Weibo, if I'm saying that right. Weibo Corporation. Look at this. Look at this on the daily. So it's just moving a little bit now. It's a pretty big drop here. 12%. That's fairly significant. Pre-market is okay, but not exceptional on 260,000 shares. I know they missed their estimates for the quarter, which they just released. Any further color on that, Norm?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay.
It hit pretty hard this morning, down 12.3%.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I had to. I've changed hats from my color commentator to my IT guy for a moment here, so bear with me for a minute.
Okay, no worries. Well, I'll let you focus on that, and I will continue through here. All right, next on our list, XNet. XNet has been one we used to love to trade XNet in the room. It was a fantastically trading stock. If I move back on XNet, if I look on a weekly, there was a period of time you can see back end of 2017 to 2018 when look at it, right? It was moving like gangbusters, and it was a great trading stock, and then this happened, right? All throughout this year, largely, it hasn't really moved much. However, because we know it was a good trader in the past, we may be back to some of those days, and it's been on my list a couple of times over the last few weeks. So right now, XNet seems to have had some earnings, and I believe, but I wasn't quite sure. The news reports I read were a little ambiguous on it. So if anybody in YouTube or in the room...
Yeah, well... From what I've seen on XNet, everything was just essentially negative across the board. Their total revenues were down something like 8%. Their cloud revenues were down 7.5%. Their subscription revenues were down 10%. Online advertising revenues down 4.5%. Their profit was down over 10%. So, I mean, their loss widened year over year substantially. So that's why they're getting smacked this one.
Damn, okay. Well, that explains it then. So I'm just, in our chat room, people are talking about the float on Weibo Corp. You're right, actually. I thought it was a bigger... It's interesting. I show 220 million shares outstanding, but a float of only 17 million on FinViz. Let me just see here, because again, this is why we check multiple sources. So FinViz is telling me there's a float of 120 million, whereas... TI, sorry, thank you. Whereas Daz is saying 123. So consistently, it seems to be around 120 million. I'm not sure why I'm seeing such a low number on the FinViz, but I didn't think of this as a low float. So, but it's maybe keep an eye on it. Institutionally owned, 40%. That would tell me it's probably not a low float if you've got 40% institutional ownership. They don't tend to put, low float stocks in their portfolios. So. All right, XNet, and what's this? FLGT's jumped on my list. Didn't think that was there a minute ago. FLGT, I don't even know what this is. I've never seen this before. Flugent Genetics. Whatever it is, it looks like they've had some bad news.
5.9 million share float for FinViz, 7.7 on TI. So.
Yeah, so this is a low float. Not a great pre-market activity, really. Only 128,000, so it just jumped over the 100,000 mark. Look, I'll leave it here to see if it gets better in the next couple of minutes, but I don't have high hopes for that. All right, let me just rescan my list. Did I miss anything? No, but look, CLVS and QGen have just changed positions. One thing I'll note is that our greens, anything that's up today, it's not up by a lot, so... we're not seeing any big gainers. It looks like it might be a down day. We'll see what happens. All right, let's move to... oh, you're right, Walmart. Thank you, guys, for pointing that out. And I actually...
Walmart for sure.
Yeah, now Walmart's an interesting one because I have Walmart. Now, I looked them up this morning because they were on my list. Walmart and I don't get along. It's beaten me up every time I've tried to trade it. I don't know why. It's not that it trades poorly, but for some reason, whatever I thought I was seeing a pattern, it just did not follow through on it. I know that they had earnings. They beat their estimates and raised their forward guidance, saying they're expecting the Christmas season to be pretty good, which is probably what's leading to this little bit of an increase. Is this all-time highs? Looks like it. Yeah, so Walmart is in all-time highs and quite handily. Look, all of the pre-market activity has essentially been higher than their previous, all-time highs. So that could be a very interesting trade this morning. So I absolutely will keep that on my list. All right, let's go through the NASDAQ gainers and losers here from Daz, and we'll see if there's anything we missed. In the most active, look at this, FCell, still on the list. FCell was here yesterday. Frankly, I paid no attention to it. It's, this is a stock that's got, it's less than $1. If I look at the price action yesterday, really, I still didn't like it, frankly. I just didn't like the way it moved. I mean, it looks at the open like there was some potential trades if you're willing to take it, but, it started at 50 cents. So I don't like those, frankly. So, but, there's no question. And it's actually, well, I don't like this price action. Even pre-market, it's not looking that great. So I will just ignore it from here. SNNA. Now this looks good pre-market, but it's a 30-cent stock.
Yeah.
Is this a low float? Yeah, well, it's 20 million share float, but that is absolutely considered a low float when you've got a 30-cent stock, right? So I don't, unless there's some real compelling news on SNNA, I don't think it's something I'll be watching. What is it? Sienna Biopharmaceutical. All right. They got relisted, it sounds like. They had to appeal to NASDAQ to get relisted. So here they are. All right. BCRX. That looks terrible pre-market. Don't like it. CRZO. Doesn't look good. XCUR. This doesn't look bad pre-market. But again, $2 stock. 50 million share float. I wonder what the... it's not bad. I wonder what's popping that up. I'll put it on my list. Maybe we'll take a look at that a little bit later. All right. Cisco, XNet, we talked about. Okay, what else we got on here? The big gainers of the day. AXNX, up 18%. Pre-market does not look good. OPRA, only 50,000 shares. Pre-market does not look good. ZSAN, no, and TROV I see on here often. These ones almost never trade well, so I'm not going to worry about them whatsoever. Trovagene, yeah, it's just jumping around. All right, on the losers, VTGN, don't like it. IDEX, I like that even less. Look at that, that's terrible price action. LIQT, Lictech, okay, 15,000 shares, so that's really not in play. FLGT, not in play. PRPO, last one I'll check here, 7,000 shares, not in play. All right, so I think we've got a list we can work with. We will come back and see if there's anything else that comes onto the list. Let me just check what I was looking at this morning. The only other one that I have that might be worth looking at, I'll throw in here, is Apple. It's an old bellwether for us. Apple... I was hearing some reports this morning that they were reducing some forward guidance. The market is not happy with their sales numbers, but I don't think they actually announced earnings. It was just some general market concern over their sales volumes and some analysts downgrades, like downgrading the price, I heard in one instance, to $190. So I'm not sure if that'll actually take. Apple can sometimes just ignore that altogether and continue to go up, but it has had a great run, as you can see. Norm, this is one of your babies. Any insight you have on Apple?
Yeah, well, yesterday they introduced a new 16-inch MacBook Pro, which actually gave it a little pop. Today, like you said, they got an analyst downgrade from, one of the many analysts that cover them. Most of them have been raising recently. They just got this downgrade, so I don't know what effect it will have. It'll be interesting to watch as they sit right around all-time highs. So.
Yeah, we'll see on that front. All right, so guys, let's get to our announcements for the day. I'll bring it up here, Norm, and I'll let you take over.
All right, guys. As I've mentioned right now, Trade Ideas a few times a year has the Trade Ideas fall their test drive. This is their fall test drive. You can get 10 days for $8.99. Hell of a deal if you're thinking of trying out their software. You can click the link that AB will put up, and well worth it. And along those lines, we also have our new scanner contest going on. You can check in the forums to get a little bit more information. But if you either have Trade Ideas or you do the test drive, you build a new scanner, or you have a scanner that's been working well for you, submit info about it in the forums, and we will graciously award you a prize at the end of November once all that is completed. The community votes on what their favorite scanner is. Number one best trader competition currently going on in for DAS. You can look at their leaderboard at onebesttrader.com. This weekend is the Clearwater Beach, Florida meetup, Friday night. Last I heard, there were over 50 people attending, a couple of special guests. Andrew will be there, Ryan will be there, Thor will be there. So you guys have a great time. Enjoy the warm weather. Our pre-market lifetime discount, we have it going on right now, 35% off a lifetime membership. You can use the code premarket LT35. That's the biggest discount we've ever had on lifetime memberships. Next Tuesday in the chat room, November 19th, 12 noon Eastern, we're going to have Robert Green with greentradertax.com. This guy, if you don't know of him, is probably the best known expert on active traders taxes that I'm aware of, at least. And he's going to be doing a webinar for us in our chat room that kind of fits the questions for traders that trade the style that we do. So he's going to focus on trader tax status, Section 475 mark-to-market accounting, wash sale rule, all that great stuff. Forming possible business entities, things of that nature. I know taxes aren't the most exciting thing in the world, but especially if you're new to doing this, and this will be your first year doing taxes as a trader, I would highly, highly recommend going to this workshop, this webinar next week, and get the knowledge before December 1st. Specifically, the wash sale rule stuff kicks in there, so it's really important to know. And then if you're watching us on YouTube, would like to try out the chat room, you can do so for 1 week at a discount. Use the promo code premarket24. It does not auto-renew, does not turn into another kind of membership. Also, if you hit subscribe and the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever we go live with new content. Back to you, Peter.
Look at that. Seamless. All right, I love it, guys. All right, we've got just a couple of minutes here to get through our levels. So let's go back through the list from the top down, and we'll see what we've got. I said I was going to keep QGen on here just to see if it does anything nice pre-market. It has not. Like, I don't see the volume hasn't improved. I don't like this pre-market action. I'm actually just going to delete it off my list because I don't like it. CLVS, we have some levels that I set previously. You can see them here at 779. And then this little pocket of activity that happened between this gap, which is a little interesting. I would call this the gap fill. But then I've got a level at 841 at the bottom of this and 947 at the top of this range. So I'm going to leave those levels in here. And on the downside, I've got a level at the bottom of this consolidation range at about 5.25. What's it trading at now? 680. So it's definitely within that range. That's it. That's good enough for me on CLVS. Cisco. All right, CSCO. I'm going to take out the levels that I had. It's trading down today, so we'll start on the downside. It's trading at the bottom of this range. In fact, look at the pre-market. It's exactly at the level of this lowest candle here at 45.55. So I'm going to put a level right there at 45.55. And then I'm just going to look back here because I want to see what's down below that. So we have to go back into late last year to find anything down at this level. Next thing I find here is about 44.20. I'm going to throw a level in there, and just in case it really has a dump here at $40 and 40 and a quarter, I'll put a level down there. Yeah, that's probably about it for Cisco. If it does go up, on the upside, I've got some daily levels pre-populated. There is a gap here where, look at this, the bottom of this candle matches the top of this range here, so it seems to be paying attention to the gap. So at 50 and a quarter, I will put a level there, and that's it for Cisco. CGC. Well, we are at all-time lows here, so essentially that means we've got nothing to mark. All my other levels are marked. The only one I'm going to put in here is I see this one candle wick down to a low of 1789. So I'm going to put a level, put a level right there at 1789, just to remind me of that wick, but we are below everything. So no indication as to what might happen from a daily level. We'll just have to watch the price action intraday. WB. I don't like the price action pre-market here. It's really not looking that great. However, I will set some levels on it just in case. You can see I've obviously played with this one before. I've got a level here at the 43.29, which looks good to me. It's the bottom, where this curled back up. Right now, the price action is, well, it's sitting right at $47. I don't really see a good clear level there. Nothing that I like, so I'm not going to put anything there. On the top side, I do like right around here at $50, $50.20 in fact, where these candles hit. So I'll put one in there, but again, this is probably not something I will trade. XNet. So it's had a beautiful jump up here in the last couple of weeks. But this is actually pretty ugly price action in here. So I've got some levels that I'd previously marked at the high at 672 and 733. I can't see what I've marked them from, so obviously they're from here. Here we go. So now I can see it from back at the end of 2018. So I will leave those in there. However, being that XNet is losing steam today quite significantly on a 12% downside, I'm going to put one here at the bottom of this candle, which is at $4.56 or $4.57. I'm going to leave it right there. And geez, if it gets down here, yeah, this is not really a good level. There's a consolidation area in here around $2, but frankly, if it gets down there, I'll be looking at the daily again. So I think that's it. I'm not going to put anything else on XNet. FLGT, again, I said I'd leave it just to see if it gets better. It's down 15%, but I don't like this daily chart really, nor do I like the pre-market action. So for me, look, if somebody wants to trade it, there's a potential level right around here, pretty much at the $10 mark. I've got it at $9.97. But it's not a great one. There's a sort of another not so great one right up here at about the $11 mark. You can see it sort of consolidated here and here, but I said I wouldn't call this a super strong level because the wicks push through it. But if you're interested in trading it, those might be useful, those whole dollar levels. Walmart, as I said, all-time highs, which means we don't really have any levels. I've got the pre-market high and low are the best I've got right here, so I'll leave those. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, if it drops below the pre-market low, then we'll be into this consolidation range. And I got the previous day high and lows, which will give me some levels that are already pre-marked. XCUR. I don't think we found the news on that, or at least I didn't find any. We didn't have a chance because it had just popped up. So I don't know what's going on with it. Let me just take a quick peek here. A partnership with Allergen. So they're saying that it's up based on partnership news on Allergen. 26% jump, 1.1 million shares traded. So that explains why the pre-market looks pretty good. Still, it's got some low volume in some minutes here. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. So where do we put a level? Well, I'm definitely going to put one right where the price is now at about $3.12, and then at the top of this candle at $3.22. Other than that, you can see that 322 I just marked. When I pulled back, look how it sort of obeyed here and here, as well as here. So I've got multiple points of support to say that is probably a decent level, even though the price is almost at it now. This is far from all-time highs, however, and it looks like it would have potential room to run up. And if it does, I'm going to put a level here. Actually, I'm going to move this exactly to $4 because it looks like $4 might be a place where I would consider. Again, for a stock that started the day, at $2.50, yes, it's up 26%, but that's only 60 cents on the day. So keep that in mind, right? Low price stock, and it's not a low float, but it probably is going to act like one today. So keep that in mind if you choose to trade XCUR. Last but not least, Apple. Apple is in all-time high range where it's been the last couple of days. You can see, again, all these previous day high and lows are giving me a bunch of levels right around the price action. I like this consolidation area right here at roughly 257.25, so I'm going to put a level there, and then you can see I've got previous ones that have been marked, which probably are out of play for today because the news wasn't so strong. I expect it to dump, but you never know. 249.75. You can see with the next one, and the rest are like way out of the price action. All right, so that's it for our levels on the stuff we've got marked. For me today, I'm probably going to primarily look at Apple, CGC, Cisco, and XNet. Walmart I'll watch, but again, because I've got a personal history with it, we'll see what happens. I'll be cautious on any trades. Anything else you guys are looking
Peter,
at? Yeah, Norm.
Yeah, Disney is one.
Ah, right.
And after yesterday's move, it's got nice volume this morning. It's gapping down 0.5%, so not huge. NVIDIA reports earnings tonight, as well as AMAT, so I'm going to have my eyes on those. AMAT's doing absolutely nothing at the moment, but it might be a middle-of-the-day play. It'll be on my secondary list.
Right. Yeah, NVIDIA and AMAT, don't look good so far, but as I said, if they report tonight, that can sometimes lead to action in day. Look at NVIDIA over the last few days. It's really not been doing much. It's just sort of chopping this range, probably waiting to see what the earnings are like. And AMAT's been, it's been up a little bit, but I again, not a great trading stock unless it's got specific news. Disney's a good point out, though, Norm. That's, you're right, with that huge run-up yesterday, bringing it to brand new all-time highs, and sort of getting stopped right at that $150 mark. It'll be worth watching today to see what happens. The euphoria, was it well founded? There was a ton of support yesterday at the close to keep this stock price around the $149. So we'll see if that continues into the morning or if that price support weakens. So I've got some levels that had previously been marked on it. You can see on my chart at 147.15, 145. Those would be from these previous highs that it had set, sort of in these candles. I don't know whether they'll be relevant, quite frankly, because of the strength of this price action, but we will find out. All right. I'm just checking one last time on my gappers list. Nothing else. We talked about AXNX. And it's, let's see what it's doing here. 134,000 shares, so not huge volume. Pre-market doesn't look that great. Boy, it's up 17% though. Big jump here. Which the daily doesn't look too bad to me. I'm not liking the pre-market action so much. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it gets up onto the gappers. Our scanners pre-market. I see that Andrew is joining us in the room here. Looking as dapper as always. Good morning, Andrew, if you're ready. Maybe not yet. All right, on YouTube, last check here, guys. Anything that you wanted us to take a look at? Hopefully I got everything.
I know somebody's called out ping. I don't know if I missed you checking that one. It appears to be a... TI has the float at 74,000 shares.
Good morning, everyone.
Finviz has it at 78.
Thank you so much, Peter, for everything. You can keep the YouTube running for a while, and I just wanted to show you something. Do you see this this thing on the back? So I put something in the back. Let me see. I put a painting on the back. Let me actually share my screen. This is something that I really liked. It was one of those images that I really liked, and this one. Actually, I got it for the office because there's a lot of meaning in there. So I actually love the fact that people see the success, but they don't see a lot of stuff down there. As soon as I saw that, I'll get it. I'll buy it. This is awesome. And now I'm actually replacing it with the Matterhorn that I have. So this used to be here. That's a Matterhorn route that I climbed, but I think that one was actually much better. It's more motivational, so I put it behind my office. All right, so Yeah, it's because it's very important to see. People always see the success, but they don't see a lot of hassle that comes with the success. That leads into success. Anyways, so let's get back into trading. Yeah, dollar bill exactly. So everyone should be able to see my screen, and yeah, let's get going. We have a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just deleting the yesterday ones. So the first one is AX and X. All right, that one is popping up at 17%. So some decent volume, but it's a low float stock. Be careful. It's $18, 18 million shares. So that's yeah, it's a little bit tough. I do have shares for short. How much interactive broadcast? Only 25,000 shares, so we might lose it soon. But we'll keep an eye on that. Let's add more on that. QGen. QGen is popping up 3.5%. Float is 219 million shares, so it's a good float. The high of pre-market right now is kind of holding around 3680 ish. Yeah. And on the daily chart, they had a huge day yesterday, and then now it's doing some stuff. That's doing some stuff. So yeah, so QGen is interesting. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. Walmart is making all-time high. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, in Trade Idea event in San Diego, there was a discussion about that everyone thought that retail is dead, but Walmart and Target and Macy's are up this year, and Amazon is down 15% year to date. So it means that everyone thought that retail is dead, but it seems that it's not. And if the retail reinvent themselves, and there is still the need for retail space. Although Walmart really, really reinvented their business model. It's an amazing people who run this company. It's amazing. Yeah, I don't know. It seems that Amazon is a declining brand. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. Amazon is also really smart, so they have to probably reinvent themselves. But Walmart, people who run Walmart, just always blows my mind. All right, so yeah, so we'll definitely look at the Walmart CLVS. Sounds very familiar. I think we traded in the past. Oh yeah, obviously we traded recently actually. So it's popping up. $7 could be a possible level if you want to go up. A float is 50 million shares. Heavy short volume, 43% share. Wow. Yeah, so that's it. So we definitely look at CLVS for sure. CLVS, KHC is down again. KHC is down again. Why? This stock is on the. Oh, it's actually up. Yeah, it used to be up. So KHC is definitely, we traded in the past. It was really fun trading it. The moving average is coming, 200 moving average. I think that's the next serious level, 3153. I remember KC trades really well. So Cisco. Cisco is a daily chart is amazing on Cisco. So this is what I like about the daily chart. Very clear level, very clear 52-week low. And let's see if you can go back in time a little bit more and see if you can actually get anything out of it. Seems like there are a bunch of levels down here. They're not really clear levels. They are really not any clear level, but let's see on the weekly chart. Sometimes on a weekly chart, you can find really nice clean levels as well. Yeah. And then the last one is around here. So Cisco is under a lot of pressure. So that's something, Cisco for sure. CGC is down. Yeah, the vibe for, wow, it's $16. The vibe for CGC. Do you remember? We remember last year we traded CGC up to $55. Yeah, this the market has these pockets. One day there's the energy sector, one day there's weed, and now it's just CGC is making all-time low. We'll definitely look into that. Our buddy XNet is back. Our good old buddy XNet is back. So it's gapping down 12%. I do have shares for short. So let's see how much Interactive Broker has. So Interactive Broker have 100,000 shares. So we should be able to short it. The next level that we have is obviously 431. And 5 could be possibly 497. Could be possibly a level. Definitely will trade XNet. WB. Our good old buddy Brandon. You are the one that you remember that. I know. Yes, Sahil, I think Cisco has a lot of competition. Microsoft is getting in their space a lot. Microsoft is just eating all of these business softwares. And FLGT must be a garbage, I think, FLGT. Yeah, it seems like a garbage. I have shares for short. Yeah, so FLGT and AXNX, they're low float stocks. Be careful, guys. So be careful trading them. That's for sure. So QGen is good. I'll keep an eye on that. Let's finalize the risk. Walmart is definitely good. CLVS. Yeah, CLVS is not good. I'll delete that. KHC is pretty good. The low of the pre-market on KHC is something. Cisco is good. CGC is good. Yeah, I think it's a really, really good watch list we have. That was quick and easy. AMRN is halted. So Peter said AMRN. So let's check out the AMRN. Yeah, no, it's halted. So I don't want to mess around with it. All right. So on watch for us would be QGen, Walmart, KHC, Cisco, CGC, XNet, and WB. On the lower floats, we're looking at FLGT and AXNX. All right, so that's it for us in terms of. That's it for me in terms of levels. I'm gonna put this one back, and I have a couple of announcements for you guys before we go there. Not this one. Let me find something interesting for you guys. So I wanna show you something, guys. This guy is Carlos' baby. Carlos recently this week, I think it's Adrian Moreta. Carlos is now having a baby, so that's his baby. I think his name is Adrian. He's gonna come and announce it, but I think he was born on Saturday, so that's like really cute. It exactly look like him. Look at this. This is exactly look Carlos, isn't it? That's exactly look Carlos. Yeah. So that's. I just want to show you people who are asking where's Carlos. Carlos is just let me play the video. All right, so that's the only thing that people were asking. Where's Carlos? Carlos is right now changing diapers. That's what so now getting back to trading, trader baby. So yeah, what about the other one? Someone mentioned another one. Brian is looking at CGC. Yeah, Brian is pretty much looking at the same as us. Brian put the Roku on watch list too. It's not bad to put Roku on. I think Roku is probably going to be popping down a little bit on a daily chart. It's amazing that Roku had a big day. I was expecting because of the Disney, Roku would go down. But the Roku seems that had a big day yesterday. So actually, Roku possibly a good trade. So I think it's worth to put Roku in there as well. So I'm just putting Roku in there.
A couple of candidates here for
so QGen.
A couple of candidates here for Rising Devils.
Disney.
CGC, WB.
Disney. Yeah, let me put Disney in there. Wow. Yep.
Oh, okay. Can anyone?
Disney for sure. Walmart up there.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, you will. Okay, thanks. Thanks, guys.
Cisco up there.
I'm not sure if Andrew can hear me. Andrew, can you hear me? Wave.
And WB up there.
Yeah, it seems Andrew can't hear me.
You can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
Right. So let me reset my.
Yeah, so I'm looking at FLGT as a possible Red Devil or Rising Devil trade. It might, it's going to pop at the open. We're going to look for it to pop at the open. And same with CGC, we'll look to see if it pops up at the open. WB is weak too. I don't like Cisco. It just seems, to me, it looks choppy. I didn't put it on my watch list. I haven't got it up. I mean, it may sell off, but it just seems really choppy in the pre-market. It's just chopping around the VWAP. Yeah, I know. WB is my least favorite for Rising Devil.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes, and you can see my screen too. Sorry, it turned out to be a little bit. It seems that there's something wrong. Yeah, sorry about that.
Can you hear me now?
So Brian, what is your watch list? You're ready for Rising Devil?
Yeah, I'm looking at WB, CGC, and FLGT for Rising Devils.
So I was going to test something. I was thinking of maybe putting an order on WB already to go short at 47. I want to see if it can actually maybe get filled on that. Let me see. Because sometimes you don't get filled. These pops are so fast. So if I can let me see if I can put the order in there. So I already put the order at 47. Actually, 47 is not great. Let me see, actually 46.90. So I'm actually putting some order. If it pops up, I want to get filled. So I'm actually putting my order up there. So. So you use the limit order. You go use the limit order, and then in the limit order you. So the stop loss in this case is a little bit tricky. I probably have to stop loss to get a stop loss above 47.50. And I don't know. That's why I wanted to test it now, because sometimes these rising devils are so fast that you just don't get filled. And here's what I want to do. I want to put actually a bunch of them. So I'm actually putting a bunch of order. So if it pops back, I'll get filled. Also, it's going to be on a short selling restriction. So I know that you're not going to get filled on the way down. So it's good to put these orders. I want to test it and see how it goes, but don't do it, because I want to make sure that it's actually working before recommend it to anyone. Yeah, it is like pretty much. It is like setting an ambush, because sometimes you don't get filled on these really common tests of VWAP, and then somebody dumps their share. And I noticed it a couple of times, so I want to really see if it's actually working or not. FLGT is going down. Our buddy XNet. I want to put some. I have some hopes and dreams for our buddy XNet. We remember trading XNet used to be. Oh wow, this XNet is going to crack 5. CGC for Rising Devil. Yeah, CGC is actually even more. I mean, CGC is even weaker. Definitely, we can do actually CGC. Well, let me see. I can actually put some CGC. We can definitely do that. Let me actually find the CGC. Where is CGC? Cisco. Walmart. Oh, I put CGC here. So what you can do is you can actually put CGC at, let's say, for example, 1680. Go a little bit short, and then you go 1670. You have. I want to do a little bit on that and see how it goes. So I put my orders up there. If I get filled, then. But the problem with that is if it opens really strong, then it's hard to manage the risk. So don't do this because I want to just see how it goes. SPY is a little bit down.
This is a strategy I use. Yeah, this is a strategy I use. Yeah, I'm going to do a short on CGC limit order.
So guys, Saturday meetup. So 1 minute to the open. So yeah, Saturday meetup, guys, on Florida. My wife is also coming. She wants to come and see you. She said, where are you guys all the time? Who are these guys? So she wants to, before divorce me, she wants to see you guys. So who are these guys that you go traveling all the time? So I said, well, come and see them. They're really nice people, and we're gonna have some nice drinks and dinner, and maybe after that we go some dancing party, something. Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, we should come back, Mario, to Texas. We were just in Texas. Yeah, Casper, of course I'm paying. Drinks is on me. Yeah, always. And even you bring your family as well if you want, but just let us know because we have to reserve the space. Yeah, bring your family, even if they're non-members and they're interested for trading, and they come and see. Ed Martin comes from Average Joe Trading. I think he's a really good trader. He's also really funny. So I want to actually, the reason that Ed is coming, I want to really introduce the community to Ed. Okay, so the market is open. Never mind. The market is open. Let's see what we get. I haven't got filled on those orders.
No.
XNet, nothing. CGC. Roku. WB dropped. See, we lost it. We lost it on WB. Yeah. XNet, CGC might pop up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, WB is really weak, man. I don't think. Hopefully we get something on that. Cisco is really strong. Walmart. I'm looking Walmart for opening range breakup. It's really strong. Walmart. So I want. Don't go. Walmart is really strong. I want to go long on Walmart. Damn, I got a bad feel on that. So I want to go long on Walmart at 142.81. It's going to crack. So I'm long on Walmart at, here we go. Sold. At I'm 124.88. So that was a pretty good.
Sure.
Walmart was really strong. Oh, it's obvious that. So I'm getting out of Walmart.
Short FLT, FLGT.
Cisco is also really weak. So Cisco might be a good short now. So I'm long Walmart at 124.80, and it's done. Let's see what Roku is doing. Yeah, CGC didn't give us anything. Cisco WB is still weak like hell.
Good short WB too.
Let's see what Walmart is doing. I have a little bit of shares left on Walmart, not much. I think it might be done, so I might get out of it. Yeah, let's see what it does. I should have taken more.
WP.
Roku is dropping. QGen might be long too. QGen might be long as well. So I'm thinking of QGen long. Let's see, Cisco is a short. That's for sure. Damn. Walmart is dropping. Damn, Walmart. Cisco, I'm thinking of Cisco for a possible short. QGen.